3 vegetables you should never eat. You might be surprised to hear this, but consuming the wrong vegetables daily could be silently damaging your body. Not only can they weaken your immune system, but also accelerate the aging of your brain and, most alarming, affect your mobility, especially the strength and stability of your legs. Did you know that falls are the #1 cause of fatal injuries in people over 65? Imagine gradually losing the ability to move safely, feeling weak when walking, or even being afraid to leave home. All because you include certain seemingly harmless vegetables in your daily diet. But don't worry. Today I'm going to give you the solution. I will show you which 3 vegetables you should eat every day to keep your mind clear, your body strong, and your legs steady, and, even more important, I will reveal the 3 vegetables you should avoid at all costs, so you don't unknowingly ruin your mobility. Stay with me until the end, because what you discover could change your life and protect the years of freedom you have ahead. And before we continue, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss more vital tips like this, and write a mean one in the comments if you're interested in this type of content, or a 0 row if you want us to improve. Let's begin. Among the vegetables that adorn our plate, few are as powerful as broccoli. It may seem simple, but it is actually a true natural shield, designed by nature to protect our body just when we need it most. After age 65, our systems begin to become more vulnerable. Silent inflammation becomes a constant enemy, wearing down muscles, joints, blood vessels, and even affecting our mind. This is where broccoli becomes an indispensable ally. It contains sulforaphane, a phytochemical that activates the body's natural defenses. This compound helps reduce chronic inflammation, protecting your muscles, bones, and mental agility. Every bite of broccoli is like investing in your longevity, but its benefits don't stop there. Broccoli is also a rich source of vitamin K, calcium, and antioxidants, essential for maintaining cardiovascular and bone health. As we age, bones weaken. Even the smallest fractures can have serious consequences for our mobility. That's why strengthening them is essential. Furthermore, this green vegetable protects your arteries. It helps prevent their calcification, which maintains proper blood flow, fundamental for legs and feet to remain strong and well-nourished. In fact, studies show that sulforaphane improves peripheral circulation. This means steadier steps, less risk of losing balance, and great help in avoiding complications like those related to diabetes. However, there's an important detail not to overlook. The way you prepare broccoli can make a difference. If you boil it too much, you'll lose much of its benefits. The ideal is to steam or lightly boil it to keep its nutrients intact and its texture crunchy. In summary, including a serving of broccoli a day is not just a healthy habit. It's an act of self-love. Every floret you eat is another step towards a stronger, more stable, and independent life. As we move forward in life, there are foods that become indispensable. And while spinach often goes unnoticed in our salads, it is actually one of the most powerful allies for those over 65. What makes spinach so special is its richness in natural nitrates. These compounds have a direct impact on blood circulation, helping blood flow more efficiently to muscles and the brain. Why is this important? Because with age, circulation tends to deteriorate. This means less oxygen and nutrients for the body, which can lead to fatigue, slower reflexes, and even mental confusion. This is where spinach comes into action. Improves vascular flexibility, keeps muscles, especially those in the legs and feet, strong and responsive. Prevents that feeling of heaviness and weakness that many older adults experience. But it doesn't just benefit the body. Spinach is an incredible source of lutein and folate, 2 nutrients that protect and boost the brain. Studies have shown that older adults who consume more lutein have much sharper cognitive function and better memory compared to those who don't. Additionally, this green leaf protects another of our most valuable senses: vision. Spinach contains lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect the ocular macula and reduce the risk of macular degeneration, one of the main causes of vision loss in older age. Protecting sight is not just a matter of visual health. Maintaining the ability to read, drive, recognize faces, and move safely directly impacts daily independence. Of course, the way you prepare spinach is key. Lightly steaming or sautéing it preserves its nutrients. Integrating it into smoothies is also an excellent option. Avoid overcooking it, as this can destroy its most valuable properties. Sometimes, the most powerful allies are also the simplest. Such is the case with the carrot, humble, familiar, and underestimated. However, for people over 65, this orange root can be a real savior in many ways. The key to its power lies in its intense orange color, which reveals its high content of beta-carotene, a precursor of vitamin A. Why is vitamin A so important at this age? Because it plays a crucial role in protecting vision, which is directly responsible for our independence. It allows us to see clearly, it helps us avoid dangerous falls, and it maintains our ability to drive, read, and enjoy the world around us. In fact, various studies indicate that adequate beta-carotene intake helps delay the onset of age-related macular degeneration, a leading cause of blindness in older adults. But the benefits of carrots don't end with vision. It is also a key ally for balance and coordination. This is due to its high content of antioxidants, which protect blood vessels and neurons. These connections are vital for the brain to send quick and clear signals to the legs and feet, allowing for firm and safe steps. Furthermore, carrots contribute to robust metabolic health. They are rich in fiber, which promotes digestion. They help control cholesterol levels, and they stabilize blood sugar, preventing dangerous spikes that could affect both the nervous and muscular systems. To get all these benefits, preparation is simple. You can eat them raw in salads, lightly steam them, or even include them in smoothies or soups. The important thing is to integrate them into your daily routine. A couple of carrots a day can be enough to make a significant difference. It's not just a healthy snack, it's a natural and effective way to protect your senses, your balance, and your mobility. Now that you know which 3 vegetables should be on your plate every day to strengthen your body and mind, it's time to turn on a warning light. Not all vegetables are so kind. Some, although they seem innocent, can be genuine saboteurs of your health. In the next chapter, you will discover the first of the 3 vegetables that older adults should avoid at all costs. Get ready, because what we reveal will surprise you. In nature, not everything that seems healthy actually is. Eggplant, with its shiny skin and harmless appearance, has earned a place in many kitchens. However, for people over 65, it can hide a danger that goes unnoticed, until it's too late. This vegetable belongs to the nightshade family, just like peppers and potatoes. And while it provides fiber and is low in calories, it contains a substance that deserves special attention. Solanine. Solanine is a natural compound that the plant uses to defend itself from predators. But in the human body, especially in older adults, it can have a devastating effect. It can cause inflammation in muscles, joints, and connective tissues, increases the sensation of pain and stiffness, and worst of all, it can directly affect mobility. With age, our joints become more sensitive. Those suffering from arthritis, nerve problems, or muscle weakness can experience significant worsening by regularly consuming eggplant. This silent inflammation doesn't always manifest immediately, but it slowly wears away. Muscles lose strength, neuromuscular coordination is compromised, and steps become more uncertain and dangerous. This is not a simple inconvenience. Falls represent one of the main causes of fatal injuries in older adults. When a food contributes, even subtly, to increasing that risk, it deserves to be eliminated from the daily diet, and if you think cooking it might solve the problem, unfortunately, it doesn't. Roasted, stewed, or steamed, solanine is still present. It only reduces slightly, but not enough to be safe for frequent consumption. In conclusion, while eggplant may seem like a healthy option, for older adults it can be a silent saboteur that deteriorates mobility, increases pain, and steals quality of life. Therefore, if your goal is to protect your legs, stay moving, and preserve your independence, eggplant should be on your black list. However, it is not alone. Another very common vegetable, ash, which many consider fresh and healthy, can also be causing silent inflammation and affecting your muscles and balance. Do you want to know the next villain? Then, let's move on to the next chapter. With every meal we prepare, we make choices that can help us or harm us. And while the green pepper presents itself as a colorful and healthy vegetable, the truth is that, for people over 65, it can be an enemy in disguise. What makes it so dangerous? Unlike its ripe versions, red, yellow, or orange peppers, the green pepper is harvested before it matures. This means it has higher concentrations of lectins, proteins that can disrupt the function of our gut. Lectins are problematic for several reasons. They adhere to the lining of the intestine, hindering nutrient absorption. They can generate chronic low-grade inflammation, something that often goes unnoticed but slowly wears away. How does this affect an older adult's body? Inflammation can compromise blood vessel function, reducing flow to the legs and feet. This generates subtle symptoms like tingling, muscle weakness, and even a dangerous feeling of instability when walking. In fact, many older adults report difficulty maintaining balance, stiffness in ankles and knees, increased risk of trips and falls. Although cooking green peppers can reduce some of their lectins, it doesn't eliminate them completely. Therefore, it's not the safest option for those seeking to preserve their strength and mobility. Furthermore, compared to their ripe versions, green peppers have fewer antioxidants, less anti-inflammatory capacity, and a greater potential to negatively affect the body. In summary, although green pepper seems harmless, it can be promoting a slow and silent deterioration of your strength, mobility, and independence. Therefore, if you already have circulation problems, joint pain, or digestive difficulties, it's time to consider alternatives. Ripe peppers, like red or yellow, are much safer and more nutritious options. But the list of villains doesn't end here. There is still one last very common vegetable that could be sabotaging your body every day without you noticing. In fact, it could be affecting your heart, your legs, and your balance more than you imagine. Let's move to the final chapter of this revelation. Few foods evoke as much nostalgia and warmth as the white potato. Mashed, fried, or baked, they are part of our traditions and family memories. However, what few know is that this common food can pose a silent risk, especially for those over 65. Its problem lies in its composition rich in simple carbohydrates, meaning the body quickly converts these carbohydrates into blood sugar. This generates glucose spikes that, while seemingly harmless at first, cause chronic inflammation. This inflammation damages the delicate blood vessels that nourish the brain, legs, and feet, directly impacting mobility and stability. Circulation deteriorates, limbs receive less oxygen and nutrients, and sensations of weakness, cramps, and cold in the legs begin to appear. Furthermore, over time, these sugar spikes favor the development of arteriosclerosis, a hardening of the arteries that further complicates blood flow. For older adults, this translates into the gradual loss of leg strength, increasingly insecure movements, and a growing risk of falls, one of the main threats to their independence. But the dangers of the white potato don't end there. Compared to more colorful alternatives like sweet potatoes or carrots, it provides very few antioxidants. These compounds are essential for combating cellular aging, and their lack only worsens the effects of time on the body. Moreover, the most common ways of preparing white potatoes, such as frying them or mashing them with butter and cream, add saturated fats and sodium. This overloads the heart and worsens existing circulatory problems. Ultimately, while white potatoes may seem like a comforting and familiar option, their frequent consumption can be silently sabotaging the strength, stability, and freedom of movement so vital for a full life in older age. Fortunately, healthier alternatives exist that can offer the same pleasure without the associated risks. Choosing sweet potatoes or pumpkin, for example, provides more fiber antioxidants, and a less aggressive effect on blood glucose. Choosing wisely doesn't mean giving up taste, but respecting the body and providing it with the necessary tools to remain strong and independent. Because in the end, it's those small decisions that determine whether we move towards a life of limitations or towards a stage full of movement, safety, and autonomy. At this point in the video, it is clear that what we put on our plate every day goes far beyond simply feeding ourselves. It is, and in reality, a silent statement about how we want to live the coming years of our lives. Choosing the right vegetables can mean the difference between moving freely or doing so with difficulty, between maintaining a clear mind or living in mental fog, between enjoying each day with energy or watching it pass with fatigue and limitations. Today you have met 3 great allies that should never be missing from your table after age 65. Broccoli, with its powerful sulforaphane, acts as armor protecting against inflammation, keeping bones strong and ensuring adequate circulation for your legs. Spinach, loaded with natural nitrates, improves blood flow, nourishes your muscles, and cares for your mind, preserving your memory and vision. And the carrot, with its abundant beta-carotene, protects your eyes and strengthens the connection between your brain and your movements, helping you maintain balance. If this video helped you see your food with different eyes, I invite you to share it with your loved ones. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you never miss important tips like this. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Write in the comments what change you will make starting today to protect your legs, your mind, and your freedom. Just write a 1 if you liked this content, or a 0 if you think we can improve. Remember, every bite is a vote for your future. You decide if it will be in favor of strength, clarity, and independence, or weakness and dependence. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue learning together how to live this stage with wisdom and vitality.